and welcome to Graphic Online News in Brief. In the headlines, Cape Coast High Court orders rerun of Assin North parliamentary election. Supreme Court prohibits Justice Honyenuga from hearing Dr. Opuni's case. NDC says Koku Anyidoho, however, the bull predicts a glorious return. And Ghana crosses 100,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases. News in Brief is brought to you by.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
And now the news in brief. The High Court in Cape Coast has ordered a fresh election to be held for the Assin North parliamentary seat. Until then, Mr. Joe Kwesi declared as winner of the disputed December 7 elections by the Electoral Commission can no longer hold himself as the MP for the constituency.
In his ruling, Justice Kwesi said Mr. Kwesi violated constitutional and other statutory provisions guiding the country's elections. On December 30, 2020, a resident of Assin North, Mr. Michael Ankuma Nimfa, filed the parliamentary election petition at the Cape Coast High Court challenging the eligibility of Mr. Kwesi on the grounds that the winner of the poll failed to renounce his Canadian citizenship by close of nominations. A lawyer with the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Alex Segwethia, and youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nanabuache, expressed mixed reactions to the ruling.
And in 94-2, it says you cannot be an MP if you owe allegiance. There's a big difference between allegiance and citizenship, and sometimes they are mutually exclusive. This was never addressed in this case. This is part of the reason we wanted to go to the Supreme Court, and we went and were given certain instructions, and part of the applications we were going to do today was for this matter to be halted, for the Supreme Court to make an adjudication similar to what they did in Zaneto on 94-1 to be done with 94-2, so that we know exactly what the outcome would be. The bottom line is, what did the people of Assin North want? They wanted our candidate to be their representative. So, if there is a problem, make sure you take time to actually ensure that truly there had been some problem and therefore he could not. That is not the case.
We are of the view that this is victory for rule of law, and again we'll be waiting for the Electoral Commission's announcement on when the said by-elections will be conducted. Let me also state that we in the MPP, we believe in the rule of law. We have heard from our friends in the NDC that we are using some technicalities to make sure that the sovereign will of the people of Assin North will be thwarted. This is false.
Still in court, the Supreme Court has by majority decision prohibited Justice Honyenuga from presiding over the trial of former Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Mr. Stephen Opuni. This was after Dr. Opuni had filed an application to have Justice Honyenuga taken off his trial.
Dr. Opuni's application to the Supreme Court was his fourth attempt to have Justice Honyenuga taken off his trial. He had failed in his first 3 attempts. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, however, in a 32 majority decision, upheld his application and also quashed a ruling of Justice Honyenuga dismissing a submission of no case. Dr. Opuni and Seydou Agongo, CEO of the Agricult Ghana Limited, are being tried for allegedly willfully causing financial loss of more than 271 million Ghana cedis to the state. The two have pleaded not guilty.
A former Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Samuel Koku Anyidoho, has been sacked from the party. In a letter dated July 27, 2021, the Functional Executive Committee of the party unanimously adopted a report by its National Disciplinary Committee on the case of misconduct and anti-party behavior against Mr. Anyidoho.
The dismissal letter signed by the NDC's General Secretary, Johnson Ketia, stated that pursuant to provisions of the party's constitution, Mr. Anyidoho must return any party property in his custody. Well, Koku or the bull as he is also called, has in a series of tweets reacted to his dismissal from the party. He says he is focused on growing the Atamils Institute, building the Asumdue Park and flying high, the legacy of the late former president. He also likens his dismissal to the biblical story of Joseph, who was sold into slavery, and predicts he will return in like manner.
Ghana has recorded a total of 103,019 confirmed cases of the coronavirus disease since the country recorded its first 2 cases in March 2020. The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji, says the total number of active cases also stands at 4,983.
Speaking during a press briefing in Accra, Dr. Kumar-Boaji underscored the threat of increasing active cases, indicating also that the death toll is now 823. He said the overall number of recoveries and discharges stands as 97,213. He is calling for strict adherence to the COVID-19 safety protocols.
The number of visitors are reporting daily continue to increase. Previously, we were reporting just a few Greater Accra, Metro, and its environs. Now, we are seeing some spillover into some of the neighboring districts. Adherence to protocols still remains very poor across all the regions, and the probability of a much severe third wave is high if we do not increase our adherence to the protocols.
Thank you for watching. We will see you again tomorrow with another edition. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic GH. I am Juliet Echa Safo.
Subscribe now.